What is up, guys? Destin Trainer here, back with another video for you guys today. And today, I'll be talking about the balancing problem that has been going on since Generation 5. And really, the whole root of this problem, I would say, is the fact that there's a lack of parity lately. And that there's really only about 10% of Pokemon that can honestly win in Pokemon consistently. And it really doesn't matter which tier you're in. There's really only a minimum amount of Pokemon that can win consistently. So, and the thing is, there's a difference between being competitively viable and also being able to win consistently, right? You can be competitively viable without being able to win consistently. So, really, since Gen 5, you had to run a certain amount of Pokemon if you were going to be a competitor, right? Gen 5, really, you had to just have a lever team, because if you weren't running lever, you weren't going to win consistently. Unbalanced Mega Evolution in Gen 6. You were going to lose if you didn't run one. And in Gen 7, Z-moves were even more unbalanced than Mega Evolution. So, I'm sensing a trend here. And what Gen 6 and 7, and now what hopefully 8 won't have the same impact, but Gen 8 is seemingly doing the same thing, is that they're doing this whole battle gimmick thing where they're just making it even easier for you to win. And see, and that's the thing. That's what the unintended consequence is by trying to spice up the battle mechanics with these new flashy battling gimmicks. The unintended consequence is that it makes the game more unbalanced, because the more that you give players, the easier the competition is gonna get, right? I mean, X and Y it's a joke in terms of the difficulty, right? It was a joke, because you were pretty much able to sweep every single team with just one Pokemon, because just get a Mega Evolution, you're gonna win the game. You're automatically gonna win, right? And with no matter how cool Mega Evolution is, it's completely unbalanced. It really is. Because there's really no restriction other than, oh, you have to hold a specific item and you can only do it once. But the whole idea of Mega Evolution is so you really don't have to have the ability to do it more than once. You don't need to do it more than once anyways. Right? So it's just, I just don't like the exclusivity of it. Right? It's cool that you're giving love to previous Pokemon, but what it ended up really turning into is that most of the Pokemon that were already popular got even more shine. Honestly, they didn't give Mega Evolutions to most of the unpopular Pokemon. They gave them to mostly popular Pokemon, which makes sense from a business perspective, obviously. Right, I get that. But isn't the whole point is to buff Pokemon that aren't normally very competitively viable and can't win consistently? Isn't that the point? I guess not. All it really was, you know what? Let's make a popular Pokemon even more popular than it already was. Let's just do it. And then with Generation 7, Z-moves are just even more unbalanced than Mega Evolution. It's just win button. You shouldn't be able to have a move that's over 300 power, because essentially every single battle you get the ability to just take out one of your opponent's Pokemon for free. That's it. It doesn't even matter whether it's not very. It doesn't matter. It's gonna one shot because it's so strong. It's stupid. The only thing cool about Z-moves is how they look. Everything is just, I guess the lore was kind of interesting. It just they weren't doing it for me. you shouldn't be able to just spam it, right? And sure, every single Pokemon had shine because they got to use it. But the problem with that is you can just keep spamming it in meaningless battles and completely cheese through the game. Right? Pretty much throughout the entirety of the game, you get this win button on your side. And even though the totem battles were pretty challenging, the Poland Pokemon weren't really using Z moves, right? And so you had kind of an advantage over them in that respect, right? So it made totem battles not as challenging as they could have been, even though they were still pretty challenging. I guess it really depends on the matchup, right? Sometimes they're going to be super challenging, sometimes they're going to be super easy depending on how well you match up with that certain type. Sure, there's that. Right, and the totem Pokemon got harder in Ultra Sun and Moon because they started holding items. Right, okay, sure. Right, it's a little more challenging, but still. Gen 7 still wasn't that difficult of a game. Really Ultra Macrozma, right? Because you get this win button. Imagine if they allowed Mega Evolution to be during the main game, too. You would have had 2 win buttons. Right? It's just ridiculous to me. So, cool aesthetics, but everything else was just... No, not doing it for me. It really isn't. It just makes the game extremely unbalanced. And again, some Pokemon get special Z moves too. So, there is still some exclusivity to it as well. Also, again, the Pokemon that get special Z moves more popular than others. So what's the point in doing something like this if you're just gonna make Pokemon that are already very strong overpowered, right? It's unnecessary. It really is. Yeah, not every single Mega Evolution, every Z move is viable. Most of them are. Right? So that's why I'm excited for what Gen 8's gonna do, because it seems like Gigantamax and Dynamax is actually going to have certain restrictions. They're not just going to let you do whatever you want. Because that's essentially what Z moves and Mega Evolution let you do. They let you do whatever you want. Gives you just 2 freaking win buttons and makes the battles boring. There's no parity right now in this franchise. There isn't. Battles got exactly the same freaking way. There wasn't any interesting battle in the last couple generations, because it was just filled with freaking Mega Evolution and Z moves. That was it. The same freaking Pokemon doing the same freaking thing over and over and over again. The meta hasn't been interesting. And then Gen 5 too. Oh, if you didn't have a weather team, you weren't going to do anything. Just every single freaking battle was just freaking weather wars. It was just ridiculous. Right, and you look at Gen 5, you think that it did so many different things, but it really didn't. Honestly, I wish we could get back to the type of balance that Gen 4 had. Gen 4 to me was the most balanced Pokemon generation we've ever gotten, right? Because everything had a chance. Everything, right? There wasn't one optimal strategy, right? And obviously, the physical special split did wonders for the metagame too. It made battling so much more fun, and we've had that ever since. Right, so Gen 4 made a lot of improvements. But it just seems like ever since Gen 4, we're not making any real improvements. It's just, let's just give you cheap ways to win. That's essentially what's going on. Because although the last couple generations have had cool concepts, they've been way too unbalanced. So, okay, I don't think removing a bunch of Pokemon is necessarily going to be the best way to balance, but I see where they're coming from with it. They kind of just want to reset and put us all back on the same level playing field, right? Everyone's going to be back at square one. Nobody's going to have the advantage over anybody, right? And it doesn't seem like to me that Dynamax or Gigantamax are going to be required for you to be able to win. It's going to be the best way to, but it's not, for me, it's not going to be what you have to use to win because of the restrictions implemented on the two mechanics, right? And we don't know what Gigantamax buffs yet, so we're gonna have to wait and see. Right, and we know that Dynamax just buffs the HP stat, so one stat when Mega Evolution was 5. And it seems like Mega Evolution does a bigger buff than Dynamax anyways. So, it's not as much stats, and it's a more fair buff that's still going to decently buff your Pokemon and give you a chance to win. Everyone's going to be able to Dynamax too, which is nice. So, has the same thing with Z-moves. And there is exclusivity with Gigantamax, but again, it just seems like it's a more balanced Mega Evolution, where there are going to be restrictions placed that you can't just do whatever the hell you want. So, that's just what's the problem with the metagame. It lacks parity and it's just no real restrictions to what you can do. It's too easy to win now. It's no fun anymore. And the thing is, competitive has always really been a chore anyways, because of everything that you have to do to give yourself the best chance to win. So, you put on a very stale metagame on top of that, what's the point in competitive anymore, really? Because it was always a chore anyways, but at least it was fun and inventive before, but now it's not. It's the same crap over and over again, and it's just so annoying. Right, so many of Pokemon are being left in the dust because they're not good enough to win consistently. I get that some Pokemon are stronger than others, that makes sense to me, but I just really get irked. It really pisses me off that there's some Pokemon that just can't do anything because, or they're not given a chance to because other more popular Pokemon just keep getting new things and getting advantages over the ones that are not as popular. So, I mean, I'm not the only one that's sick of Charizard getting everything, and we all know Charizard's getting that Gigantamax max form. We all know it. We all know it. It's boring. But anyways, tell me guys what you think in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe for more. I'm Destin Trainer now. Signing off, guys. Peace.